Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Welcome to the future. Manila Business College, premier institution in quality education. With excellent facilities, a trimestral system school offering a bachelor's degree, a free qualifying examination, requiring an examination rate of 85 to 94% for a 100% free tuition fee, a 95 to 100% examination rate to get a full scholarship. Visit our website or log on to our Facebook page and contact us. Manila Business College, your complete business school.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to For the Public Good. We're the show that tries to identify corporations, institutions, and individuals who are doing good and doing it well. And I'm really happy today to be able to greet back one of my old friends, Pascalain Ginello. Pascalain, thank you so much for coming on. And when the last time you were on, we talked about history, and we talked about everything except what you're all about, which is hair, you know. And I thought I wanted to have you on again to talk about hair because most of us have it at least starting out in life, and I've been lucky enough to keep mine. But it's one of the things of what do we do? I mean, we really don't know very much about it as a normal layman or whatever. And I thought maybe it'd be a good chance to talk to you and have you maybe give some hints for people as you're going through life. How do you keep your hair nice, and how do you make yourself look kind of presentable now and then, you know?
Yes, I mean...
and again, you're a hair artist. I mean, that's the difference between, you're not a barber, you're a hair artist. And
yes,
so
whatever the title.
whatever that is, yeah.
We are busy with hair.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, this is a good question because if you are lucky as a person to have hair, best is, of course, to try doing the best out of it,
sure,
to keep the best out of it.
Sure.
But actually having hair or not, this is actually a genetic question most of the time.
Right.
Us men is as well has to do with our testosterone, and or I mean, you get it from previous generation if you are lucky to keep them or not.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that is. I mean, male pattern baldness is not anything you can do about it. And I don't know where I came from because all of the men in my family, from my grandfather on down, lost their hair by the time that they started losing it about 28 on my father's side. On the mother's side, they kind of kept their hair, and so I kind of took that side of the family.
You have 50% of chances.
Yeah,
right.
But I was the only one of all the males that kept his hair, and everybody's hair turned absolute white by the time they were late 40s.
Yes.
And mine didn't even start getting gray until, even little pieces of gray, till I was 60, you know.
This is a loss of pigmentation.
Yeah.
This is another phenomenon.
Is that, I was wondering, let's talk about that just for a second. What, you say it's a loss of pigmentation which causes your hair to turn white?
Pigmentation is, of course, the production of melanin in your body, which is giving the color to your hair. So color has always to do with pigmentation.
Okay.
And a gray hair, a white hair, whatever you are calling it, is a loss of pigmentation.
And is that because you're unhealthy in some way or another?
No, it has nothing to do actually with age or whatever. It's just a phenomenon which is happening. Like the production of melanin is too maybe early tired to produce any, and that's the reason you are losing the pigmentation. Or as well, again, is a family question.
Okay.
So what the
yeah, in my case, you know, everybody, you know, got white hair, you know, very quickly. Yeah,
of course.
Except for myself. And on my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, had coal black hair till the time he died in his mid-70s.
But we have great solution nowadays. I mean, against.
Well,
against it.
we'll talk about. Yeah, we'll talk about. Let's talk about that later, because that's one of the things.
You
I
are
would
just
like.
giving another pigmentation back to your hair.
Okay, well, I'd
but
like to
which
talk
is coming
about
from outside.
that's what I'd like to talk about later. Why? I noticed that in beards seem to turn white before other parts of than the head
Yes,
hair, right?
different
Why is
kind of
that?
hair.
Why is that?
No answer. I
No
don't
answer,
know.
really.
I don't know. I really don't know. This is not really my field, to
I
be
see,
honest. I mean that I would that such a phenomenon would be so important in my field. That's the reason I honestly don't know why is that so. Even with the difference of ethnicities or whatever, it's not really important, irrelevant for myself.
Okay.
I mean, it's important for some studies or whatever. I recognize it, but not honestly for my field.
Okay. Now we have. I never thought that I would be in a situation of coloring my hair or doing anything like that. But when my daughter was like 6 or 7 years old, and she said, "Papa, you're starting to get all that white hair, you know, a little in your, you know, it's kind of ugly. Why don't you do what Mama does?" You know?
Ugly?
And
Is
so,
it?
yeah, that's it. And so, you know, I brush some coloring through my hair once a month, and am I hurting myself by doing that? Am I hurting my hair by doing that? Or, I mean, I kind of like it because it stays the same color it was when I was young.
I mean,
you know?
the moment in which you are coloring your hair, of course, it is called a chemical process to your hair. So, I mean, some damages can happen. But, I mean, in the case of a man, short hair, and as long as you are doing a color alone, no big damages can be done because you maintain your hair quite short, you cut it again, so even if it would have been destroyed, you cut it off. It's a different situation for a lady with very long hair.
Right, right.
Because a certain hair length of hair can be, let's say, or having the age of many different years, so from at least 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So you can imagine if you are destroying a hair always again because of chemical processes which are badly done, and I'm talking now only about color, but you have as well bleach removing, for example, if you are dark and you are going to a lighter color, so you have to do some processes which are not necessarily nice, good for the hair texture. So that's a big problem. Of course, nowadays, I mean, if you have as a professional knowledge about what you are using, how you are using it and whatever, you can maintain a perfect hair texture. But the question is always the how.
The how it's done, right? And so that's one of the questions they're going to ask you. And now way back, back in the dark ages when I was in early years in high school, one of the things with the fads was that if you were going steady with a girl, you would both peroxide your hair, you know, on the front so that you had this kind of blonde streak. What is and we talk about peroxide blondes in those days of fake blondes.
This is bleach. This is what we call bleach.
Yeah, and that peroxide is a bleach then.
Yeah,
huh?
right,
Yeah, okay.
right. As well, I mean, most of the color have peroxide. Otherwise, these are components which you have to mix to be able that the color work because color has to penetrate inside the shaft of your hair. So automatically, you must provoke a little damage for the pigmentation to penetrate inside your hair.
Okay.
And then, right, this is the way it's done.
Okay. And another, I'm sorry, I promise I'm not going to tell anybody all the things that you're telling me. We're going to keep it a secret because it'll be a trade secret, right? What are these ones that I see that they say, okay, you're going to color your gray, you know, but you have a certain color, but it's going to cover the gray, and that's the sort of things that I just brush through my hair once a month. How does that work? I mean, how does it know gray hair from regular colored hair?
I didn't. You get to formulate the question differently.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh no. Okay. Say say on the box it says, you know,
Yeah,
for premature gray hair or whatever.
Yeah.
And so maybe most of your hair pigmentation is still the same as brown, but you've got some gray hair in it. And you brush this through. It doesn't do anything to the regular colored hair, but it turns the gray hair back to the other color. Is that what happens?
No, it changed completely in a way your natural color or the way your hair is, meaning, or like me, for example, I'm not touching my hair at all, so I still have a virgin hair. But now, if I would color it, it depends. Now, the techniques that you are using, at least in our professions.
Okay.
So, for example, you can color the whole hair, everything, or you color some parts only, which in our profession is mostly called high, low lights.
Oh,
or
the highlights and
hair color effects or whatever. So, meaning the part of the hair which is coming in contact with color is actually concerned. So, and this part is of course changed.
So the fact is that if I'm brushing it through all my hair, it's affecting all the hair, not just the gray hair. Okay. That was the question, because that's not the way that the advertising
It's
seems
a little
to
bit,
be, you know,
I mean, I could take another example. Just imagine now you have a wall, and some parts you are coloring, and other parts you are leaving, let's say, naked without any color. So the colored part is going to be different than the part which is not. It's exactly the same.
That's what seems to make sense to me. That's why I was wondering, because the advertising on it is like, you know, you're covering your gray hair, but it's actually affecting all all of your hair.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever you're putting it on. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm just I don't understand these things. You know, some asking. Okay. What is in, you know, having healthy hair, I think is, I know you're really big on healthy hair, so it's a big thing.
I am terrible for that, yes.
Yeah, I know that you're, I mean, you see people and say, why are you doing that to your hair? Oh, by the way, I wanted to say that Pascalain is not just any hair artist. He has just been awarded 1 hour ago an Outstanding Professionals Award for the
to my big surprise,
for the contributions that he's made in the hair industry. And you did study under Vidal Sassoon in the early days, or
a time in my life, yes. It was an important, very important time of my life, of course. Yes.
If you know, you're looking back now. I mean, you're out of your teens now, and maybe up into adulthood, of course. Yeah. What would you say that if you were to say, well, what was the one thing that I learned early as a hair artist? What was the one thing that I carry with me today that that's kind of the basis of how I view hair, or how
I would say most probably is the fact that you have to respect hair.
Okay. Good point.
Respect means not destroying what the nature gave us. Meaning, for example, wherever I am, I'm talking about different ethnicities. If you watch children, for example, every children, wherever you go, have normally beautiful, healthy, shiny hair. Mostly, of course, for women. At a certain age, the moment you could say, the moment in which they are starting maybe to go on their own because they are working, they are earning money, and they are visiting hairdressing salons. So then you see somehow changes, because they are starting to make experiences with chemical treatments, because the industry teaches us as well to make money somehow with chemical treatments. So, and colors, bleaches, straightening hair, relax, or however, all the names of those services are, and if you do not have really a very good knowledge and respect for hair, you're going to destroy hair.
I think the word
and that's
we use
why,
there, respect is a big word, isn't it?
yes,
You know,
it is, and I'll take it very, very seriously, because this is the last thing that I want to do, because I consider myself, of course, as well a little bit as an artist in a way. It means I create shapes out of the material hair. So you try to analyze bone structure, faces and body features, and according to all this and to wishes of clients, you're gonna start to create some kind of shapes. You're gonna cut hair, you are going cutting hair. By the way, it doesn't mean that you are cutting hair short, because many people are having a wrong interpretation with the word cutting hair. In every hair length, of course, you can or you should create a shape, whatever.
So it's all shape then. Right. Even people long hair, it has
absolutely
a shape as well,
needs. This is imperative for me. Everybody needs a good shape to be presentable, to feel good, to have a good feeling, and to respect themselves as well.
I recently saw a movie, and I thought about you when I saw the movie, because it's a movie that's called Identity Theft, and this very overweight actress by the name of Melissa McCarthy had this really frizzly hair and stuff, and had a makeover during the movie and all of a sudden, here's this not very pleasant looking lady became almost beautiful, and it was mostly her hair. It was what they did with this frizzly hair and bringing it into a shape. And I thought about you at that time, because that can really make a big difference, can it?
It is so funny sometimes to see, those traditional pictures before and after. So of course, hair are playing a big, big part of changing the look of a person.
Completely changed her.
It's not only the, let's say, a makeup or the clothes, which is a certain percentage in it as well to change the presentation of a person, but the hair, the way it appears, how you say this in English, hairdo or something?
Oh, a hairdo, yeah.
Right? So can really change sometimes even a face. It's quite incredible.
Well, it can mean absolutely a change of the face, and that's one of the things that, I wouldn't have noticed that before having talked to you about hair.
No,
the idea that,
and this is the reason why if you had the chance, like I had with my past, to learn all the rules of geometry and to be able to work with all kind of hairs. I'm thinking when I say kind of hair, the different ethnicities. So it could be an African hair, it could be now an Asian hair or European hair. Now from curly to very slick, you can and you should create shapes according to the features that I was previously mentioning.
That was one of the things that I really thought would be good in the second half of the show. I would like to talk about is different ethnicities. You know, you worked out of Europe, and you've worked in North America, and you're working here, and all of Caucasians and blacks and Asians have very different kinds of hair, don't they? I mean,
but
the texture is very different.
It doesn't matter, because we have the facility to create something out of all those different kind of hair.
And that's
important. And
go ahead.
If I may, sorry, disturb you. I forgot to mention before, because we were talking about the health, keeping a hair healthy, which is very important in whatever kind of hair. And it has to do, as an artist, I am always how can I say this in English now? Like somebody pushed me away, let's say, with a destroyed hair.
Okay.
Because
We're going to
the
talk
more-
about that in the second half
Right,
of the show
okay.
because we run out of time for
Okay,
the first half. And
Sorry.
we're going to get that in the second
Publicity.
half. And don't anybody go away because I'm going to be back with Pascalain. We're going to talk about how we can keep hair healthy no matter what ethnicity or whatever. And I want to learn more about how we shape hair. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.